Imagine waking up each morning with legs that feel strong, steady, and full of energy. These are the top 7 vitamins that help power and protect your legs. Muscle weakness, painful cramps, and the constant fear of falling can become struggles of the past. The right nutrition is the foundation for living actively, independently, and with confidence. And now, we'll reveal the 7 most effective minerals and vitamins to help you build resilient, unstoppable legs. These essential nutrients support muscle performance, preserve bone strength, and boost circulation, making a real difference in your mobility and overall well-being every single day. Whether you love to dance, enjoy long walks in the park, or simply want to feel secure on your own, this video is made for you. I'd also love to know where you're watching from. Drop a comment and share. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a single tip from Health and Longevity Hub. Together, let's build a healthier, stronger, and more confident future. The first nutrient we need to talk about is vitamin D, because as we age, our bodies inevitably change. Bones lose density, muscles shrink, and tasks that once felt effortless begin to feel like uphill battles. One of the most overlooked causes of this decline isn't just brittle bones, but a lack of vitamin D itself. For strong, steady, and reliable legs, this vitamin is absolutely essential. Getting enough vitamin D becomes harder for older adults. Aging skin absorbs less sunlight, and many seniors spend less time outdoors, whether due to mobility issues, lifestyle changes, or concerns about skin damage. The result? A gradual weakening of muscles, shaky legs, and an overall decline in stability. Research has consistently shown that low vitamin D levels are directly tied to muscle weakness and a greater risk of falls in seniors. On the flip side, maintaining healthy levels strengthens muscle fibers, improves coordination, and boosts balance, helping to prevent fractures and injuries. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism even found that people deficient in vitamin D experienced higher rates of muscle atrophy, making everyday actions, like climbing stairs or standing up from a chair, much more difficult.
While proper calcium absorption and bone health are essential, the benefits of vitamin D reach far beyond that. This powerhouse vitamin directly influences muscle performance by supporting neuromuscular signaling and protein synthesis. Think of it as the key to keeping your leg muscles firing on all cylinders. Without it, those muscles struggle to deliver their best. Vitamin D is especially critical for maintaining the fast-twitch muscle fibers that control balance and quick reflexes. These fibers are the ones that spring into action when you stumble, helping your legs react quickly enough to stop a fall. When the body doesn't get enough vitamin D, those fibers weaken, slowing reaction times, reducing stability, and raising the risk of injury. Many older adults also experience persistent leg pain and stiffness. Research suggests that vitamin D can help by reducing inflammation within muscle tissue, offering much-needed relief. For seniors dealing with frequent cramps, stiffness, or unexplained aches, optimizing vitamin D levels may be a simple but powerful solution. Ignoring a deficiency doesn't just weaken the legs. It can trigger a chain reaction of serious complications. The most alarming are fractures and osteoporosis. Without enough vitamin D to help the body absorb calcium, bones become brittle, leaving even minor falls capable of causing devastating breaks that rob independence. Low levels have also been linked to weakened immunity, cognitive decline, and a greater risk of heart disease. In short, seniors who fall short on vitamin D may not only face weaker legs, but also an increased vulnerability to chronic illnesses, reducing quality of life across the board. Is there a way to fix this? Reaching optimal vitamin D levels is simple, and it can have a profound impact on overall health and well-being. If you want stronger, steadier legs and more vitamin D, here are the best ways to get it. Get sunlight exposure. Ideally,
Spend 15 to 30 minutes in direct sunlight during the morning or late afternoon for a natural boost. Keep your arms and legs uncovered to maximize absorption.
Supplements. A vitamin D supplement is especially important for many older adults who don't spend much time outdoors. While higher doses may be required under medical supervision for severe deficiencies, most experts recommend 800 to 1,000 international units daily for optimal bone and muscle function. A simple blood test can clear up any confusion about vitamin D levels. Because of this nutrient's role in reducing fracture and fall risk, vitamin D deficiency is now commonly tested in older patients. Mineral calcium. In younger people, bone remodeling is still active, but as the years pass, bone mass gradually declines, leaving them more vulnerable to fractures. The legs are particularly at risk. Among the most common and devastating injuries in older adults are hip and femur fractures, as well as stress fractures in the lower limbs. Without enough calcium in the bones, even a small fall that once caused no harm can lead to months of recovery and lasting mobility issues. Calcium isn't only essential for strong bones, it also powers muscle contraction. The delicate exchange of calcium ions with muscle fibers is what makes every movement possible, from taking a step to rising from a chair. Acting as the trigger for contraction, calcium allows muscles to work smoothly. When intake is too low, it often leads to cramps, weakness, and a lack of strength needed for balance. This is why calcium deficiency so often shows up as frail leg muscles, slower motion, and frequent spasms. So, how can you be sure your body is getting enough calcium? Dairy foods like milk, yogurt, and cheese are top sources, but not the only ones. Sardines, almonds, bok choy, kale, leafy greens, tofu, and fortified plant milks all supply calcium too. Variety is key. For optimal bone care and consistent absorption, it's best to include a range of calcium-rich foods in your diet. For those who struggle to absorb calcium or have dietary restrictions, food alone may not be sufficient. Calcium supplementation, especially when paired with vitamin D, which enhances absorption, can help fill the gap. Still, more isn't always better. Excess calcium, particularly from supplements, can cause digestive discomfort, kidney stones, or even arterial buildup. Balance is critical. For older adults, the ideal daily intake is 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams, best achieved through a mix of natural foods and supplements if needed. Beyond diet, movement itself plays a crucial role in absorption. Weight-bearing activities like walking, resistance training, or even light jogging stimulate bones to remodel and direct calcium to the muscles and skeleton where it's needed most. Without movement, no amount of calcium can truly fortify your bones and joints. Calcium deficiency doesn't just weaken bones, it quietly strips away independence, freedom of movement, and the ability to enjoy life's simplest pleasures. A stable, confident lifestyle begins with bones and muscles strengthened by adequate calcium. Third on our list, and often overlooked in conversations about leg strength, is vitamin B12. While protein and calcium dominate the spotlight, very few recognize the essential role B12 plays in neuromuscular function. It keeps the electrical signals traveling from the spinal cord to the legs sharp and accurate. Without it, the misfiring of these pathways slowly erodes muscle strength, balance, and control over movement. Not surprisingly, some of the most common symptoms of B12 deficiency are heavy, fatigued legs, often accompanied by tingling or numbness. But here's the problem. B12 deficiency is shockingly common among older adults. Because absorption depends heavily on gut health, B12 is far more delicate than fat-stored or easily absorbed vitamins. To extract it from food, the body relies on a special protein called intrinsic factor, as well as sufficient stomach acid. With age, stomach acid naturally declines, and conditions like gastritis
reflux, or long-term antacid use make matters worse. Add to that the fact that many seniors eat diets low in B12-rich foods, and the result is a slow but steady depletion of this vital nutrient. Feeling weak is only one of the many symptoms of B12 deficiency. Left untreated, it can cause permanent nerve damage that affects reflexes, balance, and coordination. Many older adults experience the neurological consequences of low B12, difficulty walking, frequent falls, or simply the sense that their legs no longer respond the way they once did. In reality, it is entirely preventable, yet the decline is often so subtle that people dismiss it as just another part of aging. The encouraging news is that restoring healthy B12 levels can have a profound effect on both energy and mobility. Studies show that when seniors correct deficiencies, their strength, endurance, and leg function improve dramatically. But what is the actual source of this vital vitamin? Unlike many other nutrients, B12 is found almost exclusively in animal-based foods and cannot be obtained from plants. Lean meats, seafood, eggs, dairy, and especially shellfish like oysters and organ meats such as liver are excellent sources. For those following plant-based diets or struggling with absorption, B12 supplements or fortified foods such as breakfast cereals and plant milks are essential. Guess what? Because excess B12 is excreted in the urine, it's considered one of the safest vitamins to supplement. Higher dose B12 tablets or routine injections can be particularly helpful for older adults who struggle to absorb it through diet alone. With regular blood tests, optimal levels can be maintained.
But here's the key point. Strong legs are about more than just muscle. Neurological efficiency, reaction speed, and coordination are all at stake. If your nerves aren't functioning properly, your legs won't respond to exercise the way they should. This is why maintaining adequate B12 levels is one of the most overlooked yet powerful strategies for preserving mobility and quality of life as you age. Fourth comes magnesium, the background mineral. With every step you take, magnesium facilitates smooth muscle contractions and relaxations. Acting as the primary regulator of muscle activity, it supports endurance, reduces fatigue, and helps prevent spasms. Leg cramps and restless leg syndrome are among the most common but least diagnosed signs of magnesium deficiency. Those nighttime cramps that plague so many older adults disrupt sleep and make it harder to get up and move the next morning. More than just an inconvenience, it signals that your body is struggling to properly relax its muscles. Because it calms overactive nerve signals and prevents sudden tightening, magnesium is especially important for anyone dealing with muscle tension or involuntary spasms. However, magnesium's role goes far beyond muscles. Bone density and joint health also depend on it. When it comes to bone strength, calcium usually takes the spotlight, but magnesium is essential for calcium to work properly. This mineral directs calcium to the bones where it belongs, preventing it from accumulating in soft tissues where it can cause pain and stiffness. Mobility itself relies on this delicate balance. Research has shown that older adults with higher magnesium intake tend to have stronger bones and a lower risk of fractures. Stress, medications, and poor diet habits can rapidly deplete magnesium, which is why deficiency is so widespread. Diuretics, proton pump inhibitors, and certain blood pressure medications are just some of the treatments that reduce magnesium levels in older individuals. Magnesium supplementation has an immediate impact on leg health, easing cramps, boosting energy, and restoring a sense of comfort in movement. Magnesium is best obtained from foods like legumes, nuts, seeds, and leafy greens. Magnesium-rich foods include avocado, almonds, pumpkin seeds, spinach, black beans, and almonds. For those who cannot get enough through diet alone, supplements such as magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate, known for their better absorption, can be especially helpful. When magnesium levels are restored, the change can be striking. Older adults often find that once heavy and sluggish legs suddenly respond with greater vitality. Those suffering from cramps and stiffness report noticeable relief, leading to improved mobility and better sleep quality. Magnesium helps regulate the neuromuscular connections that control smooth movement, enhancing both balance and coordination. Fifth on our list is potassium. Imagine waking up in the morning and instantly experiencing a painful leg cramp. Does that sound familiar? Low potassium levels can cause a range of symptoms, with muscle cramps being the most common. This is because potassium helps maintain the delicate balance of fluids inside and outside the cells, while also acting as a key regulator of muscle activity. When levels fall too low, painful spasms and contractions occur. For older adults already dealing with poor circulation or reduced muscle mass, these cramps can be especially disabling. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Have you ever felt your legs trembling after standing for a long time? Or experienced stiffness that made walking harder than usual? Potassium assists in transmitting impulses from neurons to muscles, ensuring coordinated movement. A deficiency interrupts this process, leaving you shaky, unsteady, or unable to lift your feet properly. All of these increase the risk of falls, and preventing falls is one of the most urgent concerns for seniors. Unexpectedly, potassium is also vital for strong bones. It neutralizes acidic compounds in the body that would otherwise.
The real concern now is making sure you're getting enough potassium to keep your legs strong and functional. Nature has blessed us with plenty of potassium-rich foods, and while bananas are the most obvious choice, they are far from the only one. Avocados, spinach, beans, oranges, and sweet potatoes are all excellent sources. In fact, a baked potato, with or without the skin, can actually provide more potassium than a banana. To keep your muscles and bones consistently nourished, it's essential to include a variety of these foods in your daily meals. For those who struggle to meet their potassium needs through diet alone, supplements may seem like a straightforward option. So, what's the actual potassium requirement for adults? The recommended daily intake is 3,400 milligrams for men and 2,600 milligrams for women. Thankfully, a balanced diet rich in beans, fruits, and vegetables usually provides this amount naturally. However, anyone with kidney disease, high blood pressure, or other conditions that influence potassium levels should consult a doctor to determine the right intake for their situation. Sixth on the list is vitamin K. When we think about vitamins for bone strength, calcium and vitamin D usually take the spotlight, but neither can work effectively without vitamin K. This essential nutrient ensures that calcium ends up in the bones, where it belongs, instead of accumulating in soft tissues or arteries, which could lead to stiffness, poor circulation, or even cardiovascular issues. Acting almost like a traffic director, vitamin K guides calcium to the right places, keeping your legs strong and mobile. This is particularly critical for older adults. Research shows that people who consume higher levels of vitamin K have better bone strength, a lower risk of fractures, and improved skeletal resilience. That's because vitamin K activates osteocalcin, a protein that binds calcium to the bone matrix, making bones denser and more durable. However, the influence of vitamin K, the most common plant-based form, vitamin K1, is found abundantly in leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, and Brussels sprouts. By contrast, vitamin K2 appears in stronger form in fermented foods such as natto,
fermented soybeans, aged cheeses, and certain animal products like liver and egg yolks. Because it has a longer half-life and more effectively directs calcium away from arteries and into bones, K2 is considered especially powerful. The best natural way to boost your vitamin K levels is through a diet rich in leafy greens and fermented foods. Just one serving of kale in a smoothie or a side of sautéed spinach daily can make a noticeable difference in your health. However, people with digestive issues or those on long-term antibiotics may struggle to absorb vitamin K properly, making supplementation an option. Still, caution is key. Since vitamin K plays a role in blood clotting, it can interact with medications like warfarin. Always speak with your doctor before increasing intake. Seventh on the list is vitamin B6, scientifically known as pyridoxine. While many nutrients support movement, B6 stands out for its critical role in keeping nerves functioning properly, aiding muscle recovery, and ensuring protein is efficiently used for building and maintaining muscle mass. Without it, even the strongest muscles can atrophy, turning simple tasks like standing from a chair or climbing stairs into exhausting struggles. One of vitamin B6's lesser-known but highly important roles is its impact on nerve signaling and coordination. A deficiency in B6 can slow or misdirect these impulses, leading to tingling, numbness, and even an unsteady, trembling walk. Many older adults mistakenly attribute these symptoms to age-related muscle loss, when in fact the root cause may be insufficient nutrients needed to sustain proper neuromuscular function. Another critical role of B6 is preventing inflammation-related muscle fatigue. By helping regulate the body's inflammatory. How is this vital vitamin obtained? Fortunately, B6 is abundant in many tasty and accessible foods. Chicken, fish, especially salmon and tuna, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified cereals are all excellent sources. To naturally restore your B6 levels and support both neurological health and muscle strength, you can simply make these foods a regular part of your meals. For individuals with gastrointestinal issues, absorption problems, or dietary restrictions, supplementation may be necessary to reach optimal levels. For older adults, the general recommendation is about 1.5 milligrams per day for women and 1.7 milligrams for men, though needs can vary depending on age and overall health. While getting enough B6 from dietary sources is generally safe, prolonged misuse of high-dose pills can result in nerve damage. That's why balance matters most. The smartest strategy is prioritizing a varied, nutrient-rich diet full of B6 sources, ensuring a steady supply without unnecessary risks. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. It helps us bring you even more valuable content. Have questions, thoughts, or ideas for future topics? Share them in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest health insights. Until next time, stay well and stay informed.